Hello guys and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy V. So last time we just entered this barrier tower and just took out a couple of dragons, which was a pretty hairy fight, which is a monster in a box. Yeah. So let's continue onwards. Today we will be finishing up with the barrier tower. Must admit, these enemies are a step up. And for some reason, Love Song seems to miss more often than not. Either they have a lot of magic defense or some of the enemies are immune to the stop status. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. God damn, whatever that thing is, Soul Dust or what its name. Anytime you use a physical attack on him and you don't kill him, he uses Flash. Thankfully, we've got plenty of eye drops. Wow, what an annoying move that is. But this place is pretty straightforward. For the difficulty of these encounters, in my opinion, you don't get enough AVP. All of these encounters only give like 1 or 2 AVP. That is so unfair. But soon, pretty soon, we'll start consistently getting 3 and 4 AVP. It's Caesar! Oh, look behind you! Nicely done. Whoa, he's got Tandaga. Okay, that is just a test communication, I suppose. So true to its name, the barrier tower is quite literally a tower. All we have to do is just keep proceeding to the higher floors. Oh cool, save point. That was pretty fast. I didn't get into as many encounters as I thought I would. But let's just go back. We need to take that other path. We need to save here because there's a monster in a box waiting for us with an incredibly valuable treasure chest. Incredibly valuable treasure chest. So just as the previous monster in a box, we want to make sure that Lena has control. Oh, she already has control. Maybe I forgot to equip terrain. It doesn't really matter. Most of the encounters she is going to be using Sing rather than terrain, and Kiloof is going to be using terrain whenever he's not hitting people with the heal staff. Okay, so let's hope for a red dragon encounter here. There we go. Oops, the red dragon is undead. So, this, what do you say? Oh shit, atomic ray! Oh no! Wow, are you kidding me? Why do these things hurt so much? That was the worst possible thing that he could have done. Atomic ray on the first turn. I mean, sure, he has a pretty powerful physical attack, but since these guys are controllable, all we need to do is get lucky. So he's got Atomic Ray, Flame, Level 3 Flare. Needless to say, Atomic Ray and Flame are fire elemental, and being the red dragon, he absorbs fire. So we need to use Level 3 Flare to kill him. I don't want to kill him yet, so let me just use Flame for now as a stopgap while we heal everybody up. Might as well heal everybody up with the heal stuff. Yeah, under normal circumstances, Flame would do 1/4 of their HP, but since it is fire elemental, that's why it's actually healing him. It's basically healing him for the amount of damage it will do. Doesn't really matter. We only got one enemy, he's completely under our control, so we can take our time. This is how useful control can be. Completely neutralizes some of these incredibly dangerous encounters. which we'll need to keep in mind because these dragons are going to be very troubling pretty soon once we head into X-Death Castle. So remember the ways to deal with each dragon and their corresponding weaknesses and immunities and absorptions. So the red dragon can be controlled, the yellow dragon can be controlled. In addition to that, the yellow dragon can also be inflicted with stop, which is basically the love song. I don't think they can't be confused. In addition to that, the red dragon is also undead. So remember, for undead we have an incredibly powerful damage option, that is a Requiem song. But honestly, especially when the dragons will come in larger groups, control is a far better option because using things like flame will affect the other enemies as well. So I'm gonna put that to use. But still, the encounters are so damn dangerous that I would rather avoid them. I don't think I can avoid them, and remember, this being a Brave Blade run, we have to take all encounters. And those dragon encounters are like some of the most dangerous encounters in the game relative to the stage of the game. So let's just have him kill himself with level 3 flare. Fortunately, flare is non-elemental. And we can continue, we can use terrain with Galoof as well, why not? It does not snap him from confusion. I am purposely refraining from physically attacking with ninjas. Otherwise that will snap him away from control. So 3 level 3 players should take him out. And we get 500 kills and 50 XP and 6 ABP. Yep. But more importantly, we get the gold hairpin. Hell yeah! We want to equip the gold hairpin to someone right now. Galoof is short on MP, so might as well. Okay, let's head back to the save point. Alright, Galoof gained white level 4, nice progress there. I'm debating whether to use a tent, might as well, I've got plenty of tents. Let's save the game and confront the boss. Seriously? Oh man, you can run into a Gigas here which actually absorbs wind elemental. So don't use terrain on that guy. Oh god. Completely forgot that he absorbs wind. And most of the terrain effects here are wind elemental. Alright. So let's make sure that we have everything that we need to set up. What all do we need? Let me just think about this. Alright, I think in the interest of gaining ABP, what I'll do is I'll just make Butts and Paris into Mystic Knights. But I don't have swords, do I? I have an epee. Interesting. I didn't realize that. Dancing Dagger. No, Dancing Dagger is too risky. Yeah, I think this is fine. Orichalcum. Orichalcum for I really should have kept 2 swords. How come I came here without a plan? Idiot. Okay, and we need to make sure that Lena has terrain. So for this boss, what we're going to do is use Sleep Spellblade because he's susceptible to sleep. Without sleep, this guy's a nightmare. So we're gonna have Buds and Paris hit him with Sleep Blade, and Giloof and Lena constantly hammering away with terrain. I'm only doing this for optimizing Giloof and Lena's ABP. Because otherwise, I think a better strategy would be to use Black Mages here. Black Mages have good damage, they also have the Sleep spell. 4 Black Mages will take him down in short order. But I would very much like the 10 or 12 AVP he gives and distribute it to Giloof and Lena. Let's do this then. So he's gonna open up with 1 or 2 comets which might kill someone. Let's hope it kills let's hope it kills Lena. Because we need both Mystic Knights alive. And I don't have to waste a Phoenix down if the White Mage is still alive. What is going on? You wish, but I'm here to stop you. One of the most infamous bosses in Final Fantasy, Atomos or Atmos. Okay, he only used 1 what do you say? 1 comet, so that was okay. Not ideal, he killed Giloof, but at least my Mystic Knights are free to set up. So let's set up with Sleep Spellblade. Let's not revive him right now. Use terrain with Lena. We need to make sure that he goes to sleep first. Yeah, he's gonna drag his body, no doubt. That's how Atomos works. Alright. As long as the hit lands, that means he's been put to sleep. Let's not do anything. First we need to revive. I could have revived with Bugs. Let's revive Giloof. So now what we want to do is we want to wait for everybody's ATB bar to fill up. Because remember, when even though we have Sleep Blade, the next hit is going to wake him up regardless of whether it was Sleep Blade or not. So this hit wakes him up, and the next hit will put him back to sleep again. Fortunately, unlike the stop spell, the sleep status effect actually resets the enemy's ATB. So every time he goes to sleep, the next time he wakes up, he will wake up with a reset ATB, which we are using to our advantage. Wake him up, put him back to sleep. Wake him up, put him back to sleep. So this way, I mean, seriously, I have to admit that this is a terrible cheese, and I generally don't like choosing boss fights. But the thing is, you saw how much damage that comet did, right? Essentially, this is a DPS race, a gimmicky DPS race, because every time he kills someone, he's going to start dragging their body close to him, and eventually he will swallow them. Which means that character is taken out of the fight. So essentially you are working with a time limit, and I just don't appreciate that. So I'm perfectly happy with using this tactic to shut him down. I just think it's really unfair what he does. I firmly believe that not only should like DPS almost always works for all bosses. One of the fundamental I can't really call it a tactic, can I? One of the fundamental things that works in RPGs is kill them before they kill you. But I firmly believe that boss fights should also have an option of also give us a defensive option. I'm all for the defensive option. a battle of attrition, a way to neutralize the boss. Yeah, what I've just done is kind of neutralize the boss, but it just feels so cheap, doesn't it? For this particular boss, I'm completely okay with it because of how unfair he is. I don't like DPS bosses. I didn't like that evil wall in FF4 either. In fact, pretty much in everything in FF4 was DPS, but FF4 wasn't a very gameplay-oriented game to begin with, so it can be forgiven. All you need to do is grind a whole bunch of levels and then make sure you got top-notch equipment, and like there's no thinking involved. You need to do enough damage before you die. Maybe there's something I'm missing, but based on everything I've been told, that's how it works. Yeah, point being, I hate DPS bosses. I hate DPS race requirements. Oh, GG, there we go. 12 AVP, yeah. Precious AVP, and we gotta use this dark matter. One of these days, I should probably do another L build at 5 using the Chemist and the Blue Mage. Alright, so we successfully managed to destroy the antenna. Who knows what the hell Atomos was doing there. Sadly, Zezar is trapped. Hey, Zahiryu! The girls are like, okay, better save our asses. Yep, Zezar sacrificed himself. Wait for me at the sub, I'll come for sure. Zezar signing off! Oh my god, I love that guy. How cheerful he is at the moment of his death. And now the sad dialogue. Of course I knew, but there was no way I could send you. Right on cue, this music plays. I'm telling you, this music has forced an emotional response in me. Every time this plays, someone's dying or there's sadness. It's not as if it's a particularly good track or anything. Just the connotation that which it's attached with. Oh, Putz just knocked him out. Because Galoof was completely paralyzed, in shock that his best friend. Remember, these guys fought together 30 years ago with X-Death. So you can only imagine what kind of bonds they would have shared. And that destroys the barrier. So at least what can be said is Zezar's death was not in vain. We successfully managed to accomplish this mission, which cannot be said of most things that we did in Final Fantasy V so far, can it? Galoof? Let's just wait a little longer. Okay, take your time, man. Take your time, man. Totally understand. Yep, you can see the look on his face. He has finally accepted it. Alright, so we've got the submarine, and as Lena said, we might be able to use the submarine to reach Kaido's sunken cave. So that's our next objective, very clearly stated out, which we will try next time. Take it easy.